Have you noticed it? In our offices, in our schools, maybe even just sitting around the dinner table. There's this gap, this growing divide between generations. The big question is, how do we start to bridge it? Well, let's jump right in and see what the source material has to say.
So where do we even begin with a topic this big? You know, before you can find an answer, you have to be asking the right question. And the challenge here isn't just about different habits. It's about a real fundamental gap in understanding that we've got to tackle first.
And here it is, the question at the heart of it all. Is there a real growing gap in how different generations think and act? I mean, have you felt it? That feeling that the way people see the world, what motivates them, even how they talk to each other, it all just feels like it's drifting further and further apart? Well, this isn't just in our heads. It's a real thing we need to dig into. Okay, so to get a little more specific, who exactly are we talking about here? Let's zoom in on the two groups at the absolute center of this whole conversation.
Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, Gen Y, or Millennials, and Gen Z are totally different. And yeah, you're not wrong. But for our purposes here, the source material does something pretty smart. It groups them together as people under 30. Why? Well, it lets us focus on the shared current mindset of young people who are really shaping our world and our workplaces as we speak.
And this really gets to the core of the mission, doesn't it? This isn't about making lists of stereotypes or making jokes about TikTok. The real goal here is to understand the why behind the what. Why is work-life balance so important? What really drives their decisions? It's all about approaching these differences with some genuine curiosity, instead of just criticism.
All right, so why does all this understanding really matter so much? I mean, this isn't just some nice academic exercise. There are real serious stakes here, something we could call the engagement imperative. You know, when we talk about younger generations, we could discuss a million things: work ethic, tech skills, social values. But it turns out there's one thing that rises above everything else. It's the single most important piece of the puzzle if you want to connect.
And here it is. The key is engagement. For any teacher, any manager, any parent, the biggest challenge is figuring out how to keep young people truly interested and actually learning. I mean, think about it. For a generation that grew up with infinite choices and instant feedback, boredom is the absolute enemy of progress. If they're not engaged, we all lose out on their incredible potential.
So, if engagement is the ultimate goal, how in the world do we get there? Well, it's not about flashy perks or trying to be cool. The real path forward starts with something much more fundamental.
It all comes back to this one simple but really powerful idea. Before we can ever hope to engage, we first have to understand. Knowledge is the only real bridge across this gap. And that means taking the time to learn their world, the pressures they're under, their natural relationship with technology, their search for purpose in their work. It's about swapping out our old assumptions for actual, genuine insight.
And that really leaves each of us with a challenge, right? This isn't some abstract problem for big companies to solve. Real understanding starts with a single action. Maybe it's just asking a younger colleague for their take on a project. Or maybe it's just listening with a truly open mind. The journey to bridging this generational divide, it starts with one small step. So what's yours going to be?